All right, so I am just going to read this story over this footage. This is just heavy traffic. I go from standstill to approximately 70 in 8 minutes, 19 seconds, I think it was. At one point, we do get to a standstill. But traffic does ease up, and I'm going to read this story because I found it fitting. So I'm here on CNN.com. Flight departures halted across the United States due to FAA system outage. The Federal Aviation Administration halted all domestic flight departures across the United States Wednesday after the system providing pilots with pre-flight safety notices went offline overnight, causing extensive disruptions. The FAA said in a statement it had ordered airlines to stand flights down until at least 9 a.m. Eastern Time while it tried to restore its NOTAMS, or Notice to Air Missions system. It later said flights were resuming at Newark Liberty International Airport and Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, and departures at other airports were expected to resume by 9 a.m. However, an airline source familiar with the situation said airlines may implement ground delay programs, which could potentially lead to further timetable issues. It is approximately 9:06 a.m. and I have not heard any updates that this is lifted. So as of right now, I looked about 10 or 20 minutes ago. It was still in effect. So I'm gonna continue reading my story because as of right now, they ain't lifted nothing. We are performing final validation checks and repopulating the system now. An earlier FAA statement said operations across the national airspace system are affected. We will provide frequent updates as we make progress. Airlines for America, an association representing U.S. airlines, say the outage is causing significant operational delays. Major U.S. carriers, including United Airlines, Delta, and American Airlines, all said had grounded flights in response to the situation. U.S. President Joe Biden said there was no immediate information on what had caused the outage, the second U.S. Aviation crisis in a matter of weeks. He said he had been briefed on the situation and was in touch with Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg. I know it's something like that. I just spoke with Buttigieg. You gonna make me say it again? Okay. He told reporters as he departed the White House, they don't know what the cause is, but I was on the phone with him the last 10 minutes. I told them to report directly to me when they find out. Aircraft can still land safely, just not take off right now. So if you up in the air, you good to come down. You good to come down. But it took him 10 minutes to say all that. I'm going to need more answers. He continued, they don't know what the cause of it is. They expect in a couple of hours they'll have a good sense of what caused it, and will respond at that time. Asked whether it was a cyber attack, Biden said they don't know. They will find out. Earlier, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said in a statement that there was no evidence of a cyber attack at this point, but that Biden had ordered a Department of Transportation investigation. FlightAware, which tracks delays and cancellations, showed more than 4,000 flights to, from, and within the United States as being delayed as of 8:50 a.m. Eastern Time, and 696 flights canceled so far. International flights bound for the United States were continuing to take off from Amsterdam and Paris despite the situation. Schiphol, I don't know what that is, airport spokesperson told CNN that a workaround has been issued and flights were still departing from Amsterdam. No flights have been canceled from Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport, but delays were expected. According to the airport's press office, Frankfurt Airport also told CNN it had not been impacted. A London Heathrow Airport spokesperson told CNN that they were not aware of canceled flights and that flights to the U.S. had left recently. However, there were passengers' reports of significant delays. Snobham Omni told CNN that she and other travelers had been sitting on board American Airlines Flight 51 to Dallas for almost 3 hours at Heathrow because of the FAA outage. She said they had been informed that there were delays but were still boarded onto the aircraft. Commercial airline pilots use NOTAMS for real-time information on flight hazards and restrictions. The FAA stipulates NOTAMS are not to be relied on as a sole source of information, and so some flights may be able to satisfy safety requirements by using other data. Wednesday's incident comes on the heels of another aviation crisis. A huge winter storm over the end of year holidays caused extensive disruption and helped trigger a Southwest Airlines meltdown that affected thousands of passengers. Then it has a note, this is a developing story. It will be updated. And that is the end. Yeah, I just wanted to know what happened, but I see they don't know what happened. So yeah, I guess we'll have to figure it out on our own. Bye, y'all.